Dream a little dream of me.
Welcome, kindreds. It's Jessica TheStoryWitch, and excuse the mess around me. I've only just moved into my room, as you will know. I say only just, it's probably been about 3 weeks now, and I originally said I wasn't going to paint, and now I'm like, I think I'm going to paint. So I haven't bothered kind of like properly putting everything away. So yeah, excuse the carnage. I wanted to pop on and say Happy New Year, welcome to 2020. And also just share with you guys something which was our theme of our red tent this month, and which after I did it, I thought maybe I should share this on the channel too, because it's something that I haven't talked about on the channel and which I think might be useful. I can hear the dog pawing at the door, so I'm going to go and pause this and just let you know. In our red tent circle this month for January, I shared about something which I've done for a while, but not kind of like officially, called sacred mentorship, which is where you connect with somebody who has passed on and use them, that it's not quite like that. It's you build a relationship with them as a mentor for you going forward in the year. So I know I've talked about word of the year and things like that quite a bit on the channel, and this year, even more so than previous years, I've seen a lot of people talking about word of the year, but I haven't seen anybody really talking about having a mentor and how that can kind of feed in and kind of enhance the word of the year practice as well. So the idea is, like I say, is to choose somebody. So it's not usually a deity, it's usually a human who has passed on, and it's usually a human who embodies characteristics that you would like, so or you feel like you could learn from. And it's usually obviously somebody that you have something in common with as well. It's some sort of common maybe philosophy or way of approaching things, and so you feel like you will connect with that person, and by connecting with that person they will be a teacher, they will be a mentor. And I shared a Paulo Coelho quote in the red tent, which I thought I had to hand, but now I can't find it, but it's something along the lines of, a true teacher is somebody who allows us to find the potential and release the potential in ourselves. It's not somebody, you know, who kind of spoon feeds, that kind of thing. And so the idea of having a mentor in this way is, you know, you can look at it in a few different ways. You can look at it as like, if you don't believe in kind of spirit contact or contact with the dead, any kind of necromancy, then you can see it more as like an inspiration point, and it will go no further than that. Or if you do converse with the dead, then you can use them, you know, you can build an actual relationship with that person. So, and you know, and anywhere in between. So you can decide how that falls for you, if this practice kind of resonates for you. So I have chosen for this year Ursula K. Le Guin, who is a long time hero of mine, and I love her stories, but I also love how clever she is and how she had opinions on things and she wasn't afraid to share about them. She was also very hopeful, which I love. She was a really good mother and managed to combine motherhood with writing, which is something that I aspire to do. And all round, she's somebody who I feel like she is ahead, you know, she's dead. She's very far ahead of me in this kind of life journey. But she has done her life. If my life kind of took the same sort of path as her life, then I would be very, very grateful for that. I feel like I've got an awful lot that I could learn from her. And so I've chosen her to be my mentor for this year. So, you know, you can choose somebody like that for those sort of reasons, somebody that's inspiring to you in the field that you want to be in whatever that is. But it doesn't have to be like a famous person. It can be somebody that you know, or somebody from your family, and you want to connect with them, you know, that's fine. But it's not so much like, you know, a chat with family members, which, you know, you can obviously do that. You can chat with your deceased family members if you do that kind of thing. But it's more about, it is a mentor-mentee kind of relationship is what I'm talking about here. So, you know, choose somebody, if you want to do this, who you feel like will be somebody who can guide you and who can kind of inspire you. And then in the red tent, we talked about ways in which we might be able to be guided and inspired by that person. Gosh, this video is so stoppy and starty. I'm sorry, my daughter's got friends around and they're all leaping around doing gymnastics on the land, so you can probably hear that it's all, that's one of the downsides of being down here. At least in the attic I was kind of pushed out of the way and it wasn't so crazy, but I've just said to them, do you mind keeping it down a little bit? So we will see. So yeah, where was I? I think talking about ways in which you can be inspired and kind of guided by this person. So if they are somebody from your family, somebody known to you, or somebody kind of like a local person, then you can perhaps visit the places where they frequented. You can you know, walk in the same places as they might have walked in, touch the same trees that they might have touched. You know, make that kind of, you go to the place that cradled them and be cradled by that place. That you can create an altar space in your home which is set up as like a kind of touching stone to communicate with that person. You can have things on there that they would have liked and things that remind you of them and the things that you aspire to be like them. You can like if they are a famous person, or if there's somebody who has created things, you can enjoy those things they created. So I'm definitely going to be rereading a lot of Ursula K. Le Guin's stories and her essays and her poems this year. So, you know, if they've left art behind or left things behind, one of the women in Red Tent was sharing about her great grandmother, which is the person that she's going to be connecting with, and that person was a prolific crafter. So she'd made lots of things like blankets and things like that, which and has left crochet hooks which have been passed on. You know, they may be tools, even if it's not a famous person. They may be tools, they may be art, there may be things created, perhaps diaries, things like that from that person's life, which will give you like a physical connection, which can sometimes then prompt an emotional and kind of spiritual connection. You know, or like with the altar space, you can go straight for a kind of spiritual connection. You can speak to them, chat to them, leave out things, like I said, that you know that they like, which might promote kind of chatting, maybe in dream time, things like that. You might want to speak to people who knew that person, or, you know, watch interviews with them if it's a famous person. What else? You know, it's fun. It's a fun practice. It's also a really great way to, we tend, I'm speaking for the we now, and I'm going to speak for myself. I feel like quite often that I want to kind of do things with my life, and I want to improve my being in the world. I want to do the things I want to do in the world and share gifts with the world, you know, this kind of cliche thing. And somehow, sometimes it's not always easy to do that, especially if you feel like, which I know if you are a witch or a seeker, you can feel a bit on the fringes of things sometimes. Again, talking for other people, but hopefully you'll resonate with this. And people don't always understand what I want to do and why I might want to do those things. So having a mentor who has also done those things or done similar things is really, really valuable and really, really precious. And it's something that we don't really have available readily in our society now. You know, we don't have so many kind of craft apprenticeships. We don't have that kind of mentor-mentee relationship in lots of different spheres. A lot of the time we have to kind of find our own path and find our own way. And, you know, while there's an awful lot to be said for that as well, you know, for doing things on your own and kind of finding your way, beating your own path through, it's much more fun when you have somebody guiding you. And also you can get better faster if you have somebody guiding you, if you have the right person, you know, guiding you. Because that's the other problem we kind of have now, is that there's lots of kind of pseudo gurus who like supposedly know everything about everything and can tell you the best way to do all these sort of things. Even quite young people, like, not that young people don't have lots of great knowledge, they really do, but there is something that comes with kind of life experience. And so being able to connect with somebody who is older, dead, who has gone, you know, crossed that particular threshold as well. They will have direct connection with the deeper things, with the mysteries and things like that, I believe. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. I'm hoping this is probably, yeah, it's only a very short little video, hopefully, and will give us something to talk about and something to think about. So if you have already maybe got a word for the year and you're thinking like, what do I do with this? Then perhaps there's a particular person that resonates with that. Or maybe, and this happens a lot when you talk to people about this concept, it happened with a lot of the people in the red tent, that they instantly knew who their mentor is. And a mentor you might, you know, follow that mentor your whole life. Or you might follow them just for a month. You know, it's not, you're not necessarily committing yourself, although you kind of are. So choose wisely. And if you know, then do share. You know, I'd like to hear about whether you do. Maybe this is something that is, you know, like word of the year. Sometimes people hear that, I think, oh, I've been doing that for ages, I just didn't know it was called a thing. So maybe this is something like that as well that people do, but they don't necessarily share about. So I thought it would be fun, and I thought that it would be perhaps useful. So let me know what you think. One was blessings. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.